I think one of the advantages is that what I found myself feeling when I was reading it was that it was altering my mindset. And I think that was one of the quickest things it began to shift. You gave a really great example of an advertising budget. So although I don't necessarily remember all of the figures, the theory was very simple. If you have a certain amount, let's call it £500, and you spend that on advertising because you think that's fine, and you get a certain number of sales, you then obviously you get a cost per sale ratio. Everybody understands that conceptually. It's a division. It's not complicated. But actually, in reality, unless that particular sale is either large enough to warrant all of that investment, or when you consider how much it's cost you to get that sale, including the time, including the effort, including anything else that's involved, versus was there a higher price purchase or sale that you could have done? So a different offering that you could have got fewer sales but a better return. You begin to actually start to do the maths. And then, and I realized as a psychologist, for example, I'm a little bit difficult to explain to people because some will be quite put off unless they persevere with what's the key messaging for me. So I've done my fair share of advertising, and I've quietly thought no matter which way we do it, it's just not been worth it for me. That's not to say social media via LinkedIn isn't valuable, but straightforward advertising with a small piece in a magazine hasn't been worthwhile. So it's almost as if I could give myself the excuse I haven't done this anyway, but actually using your formula, I'm now beginning to get sharper. I'm using my brain, and I found that was useful.
And it's advertising. There's a course that I have about that, but I look at advertising and is it a cash cow or a black hole that you just throw money down? And I also think it goes back to your expectations with advertising. People are told you've got to advertise. I don't care where your business is. You've got to advertise, put aside 7% of your budget. Somebody throws something at you, or do this contract and it's cheaper, and you have to advertise. But I believe that when you advertise, you've got to have ROI, return on investment. If you spend pick a number, if you spend $5,000 on advertising and you don't profit $5,000 on that advertising, it just costs you.
It's costing you, absolutely.
And so when I work with some of what you were talking about in the booklet and then expanded on that too, is that does your advertising give you ROI? And I do not care if this is a little tiny, little placemat that you're putting in the boys soccer team program because that's a donation. That is not advertising. Or if it is something that you're looking at running in a series. And one of the reasons I hit on what's your profit per item, because do you need to sell 1,000 of these widgets to have enough profit?
To make any money. Absolutely.
Just to pay for the ad. Why are we going here? Do we need to shift and we only have to sell 6 of this service and we have paid for the ad and we also have a profit and I have some room for an upsell. And it's a real mind shift that you don't use advertising to throw your money away. It has to give you a return or you don't do it.